Trying to win a closeout game at home for the first time since 1999. We're at Madison Square Garden, where, spoiler alert, this game was over at halftime. Second quarter, Jalen Brunson turns the corner, bucket, good, up 16. 90 seconds later, Derek White's layup pinned off the glass by Deuce McBride. Josh Hart the other way. Floater plus the foul. Knicks up by 20 after the made free throw. Everyone was at this game. Who's not there? Oh, Sharpe. Oh, he's loving it. Final minute of the first half. Karl Anthony Towns gets that to go. Knicks up by 27 at the break. The largest halftime lead in 571 games against the Celtics all-time, regular and postseason combined. Early third, Brunson step back over the other Jalen Brown. Knicks led by as many as 41. They roll 119-81, advance to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 2000. First series clinching win at home since 1999 as they advance to play the Pacers in the next round. Game 1 is Wednesday back at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks with their 8th playoff game all time with 4 20-point scorers. The only starter that did not score 20 points this game was Josh Hart, and he had a double-double in terms of rebounds, assists. In fact, he had a triple-double. He had 10 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists. So, like, he got it done, too. It was an absolute clinic by the Knicks. And for more, welcome to CBS Sports HQ NBA analyst John Gonzalez. The Knicks win a closeout game at home for the first time since 1999. John, this game was over at halftime with the Knicks up by 27. You look at what the Knicks did in this series. They knock out the Celtics, and sometimes it's the team who stays healthy who advances. What does this series win mean for New York?
Yeah, I mean, they were resilient, right? Going into tonight's game, the Celtics had actually been ahead for something like 80% of the minutes, and then tonight obviously was all Knicks all the time. But for the Knicks to win their first 3 games when they were down double-digit deficits, and come back and win those games, it just showed, because there's going to be some people, there's going to be some revisionist history here. I've already got my Celtic fan friends in my text messages saying, well, they beat the hospital Celtics. Well, hold on a second. I mean, Jason Tatum was out there for the beginning of the series, and Kristaps Porzingis is dealing with whatever illness he's dealing with. But they just didn't play well enough, the Celtics. I mean, there were many moments in this game. Look, Drew Holiday is a fantastic player. He's been a 0 on offense all year. You're not getting a ton of offense from Al Horford. Joe Mazzulla, for whatever reason, decided to start double big tonight. There's a lot of things you could point to from the Celtics perspective where you say they just weren't good enough. Derek White tonight, another one where he was Game 5, he was fantastic. Game 6 was a no-show. Only Jalen Brown really showed up, and he fouled out, with 2 minutes, almost 3 minutes left in the third quarter. The Knicks, on the other hand, as you mentioned, Akeem, all 5 starters plus Deuce McBride in double figures. Wasn't a super heavy lift for Jalen Brunson tonight. He was fantastic, though. Karl Anthony Towns and OG both had a double-double. And then Josh Hart had a triple-double, the first playoff triple-double since Clyde Frazier. In 1972, they get their largest playoff win in franchise history, and they do it on a night that sends them to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years. This wasn't just a win, Akeem. This was a party. This was a coronation for the Knicks. They're going to be dancing in the streets till that first Pacers game.
Yeah, they got bigger things, though, that they're looking forward to. They want to win an NBA title. They haven't won one since 1973. The Celtics, obviously coming off a title 1 year ago. They were sold for a record-setting $6.1 billion this offseason, but plenty of questions here as they go into the offseason. Boston superstar has a long road to recovery. Jason Tatum expected to miss 8 to 9 months following surgery to repair his ruptured Achilles. Meantime, a couple of possible trade candidates. You mentioned them, Porzingis, Holiday. John, what's next for the Celtics as they head into the offseason?
Yeah, they have a big offseason. Brad Stevens has a lot of things to determine. They're looking at a payroll bill with the tax because of the second apron of $500 million. That's not going to get it done when you're not going to have Jason Tatum out there. His season's going to be cooked. You're not going to come back from Achilles this late in the season and then play next year. So you're going to look at his age 28 season without Jason Tatum out there. They have to move some pieces around. Now, the question is, sure, on paper, would you like to move off of Kristaps Porzingis? Absolutely. What's the market for him? He's frequently injured. He's getting up there in age. He couldn't get out there because of whatever illness was going on. Al Horford, do you bring him back or not, and at what price. Jrue Holiday, I love Jrue Holiday. He's been one of my favorite players to watch forever. Up until this season, I frequently said about him, he doesn't hurt you anywhere. Well, this year, he hurt you offensively. He was not good offensively. I don't know that there's a huge market for Jrue Holiday, especially because he's on a contract that they re-signed him recently along with everybody else that probably isn't as attractive as it would have been when he signed it 2 years ago. Derek White is a guy that you would have a market for, but he's also a player that you probably don't want to move on from if you have designs on rebooting this thing on the fly. Do they consider moving on from Jaylen Brown and dangling him out there? Big question marks. They have to cut some payroll. I just don't know where they do it. It's going to be a difficult offseason with some hard choices ahead of them.
Well, the Knicks are moving on. Jalen Brunson and the Knicks punching their ticket to the Eastern Conference Finals, and that means a date with Tyrese Halliburton, the Pacers, who bounced the Knicks last season in 7. Halliburton's seen after knocking out New York, rocking the Reggie Miller choking hoodie as the Knicks blew a 2-0 series lead in that matchup against Indiana. Halliburton, Brunson, no strangers either. They came face-to-face last summer on an episode of WWE's SmackDown. Now they're going to SmackDown for a spot in the NBA Finals. They'll battle it out. John, how are you evaluating this matchup? Because we know this series, this matchup between Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Halliburton is not scripted, unless maybe we think it's scripted. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a fantastic series. These two teams haven't liked each other forever. Going back to the 90s, the last time these two teams played each other in a conference finals, in the Eastern Conference Finals back in the late 90s, and those were super fun. I anticipate that this will be fun again. As you mentioned, the Pacers knocked the Knicks out last season. The Knicks are going to be feeling themselves here, Akeem. They just got through the defending champion Boston Celtics. They're hated rivals. They're back in the conference finals for the first time in 25 years. But I think that sometimes the casual fan might not realize how good the Pacers have been this year. Yes, the Knicks will be the favorites in this series, but I don't think it should be by much because the Pacers, since January 1, have been playing better basketball than pretty much every team in the NBA except for Oklahoma City, the Cavs, who they just knocked out, and the Celtics, who are gone, right? They've been killing it. And so the Pacers really figured it out. Second half of the season, they started off really slow to begin the year, but second half of the season, offensively and defensively, they've been really good. And Halliburton, who everybody loves to hate, especially New Yorkers, has been playing some of his best basketball of his career after a slow start for him as well. I mean, he was just the closer that you would love to have. It's two closers, right? You're going to have Halliburton on the Pacers, and you're going to have Jalen Brunson. The matchups in this are fantastic and fascinating. Karl Anthony Towns against Miles Turner, Siakam against Josh Hart, and then Nembhard and Nesmith, the do-everything's guys for the Pacers against Bridges and OG. I can't wait for this. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Knicks are minus 148 favorites to win the series. Who you got?
Close. Yeah, it's close. The Knicks are playing really well.